Hello everybody, this is Renegade Rousey and you are watching the Left Jab Boxing. Oh no sir, no you're not. You're not watching the Left Jab Boxing Show. You're watching the Left Hook Boxing Show, and what a left hook it was from Nonito Donaire in the 4th round of his fight tonight with Jeffrey Mathebula. He lands that left hook, that signature left hook that he's taken Darchinian and Montiel out with, and he lands it towards the end of the 4th round, and man, I'm thinking this thing is over. Wave it off. He wins it in a 4th round knockout, but Mathebula, give him credit, gets up right as, he gets up and then they sound the bell because he can't be saved by the bell, and he gets a chance to revive himself on his corner. And you got to give his corner credit there too, because it was to me like something out of an emergency room situation when somebody's trying to save somebody's life. They're getting there, squirting the water, rubbing the ice on him, doing all kinds of things. Just really squirting him, slapping him around. Come on, shake up, let's go. And they did a really nice job of it, because he gets up and he comes back in the fight and he gets his legs back under him. And he really fights a pretty nice fight. And after this thing with Pacquiao, this debacle of the scoring, you could see, even a reasonable man could see how they might be giving some rounds to Mathebula, because he was busier in the sense that he was throwing more punches. Although, as a person just watching the fight, I think you could clearly say that Nonito Donaire was winning this fight just because the power. Boom, man, he has the power, and he was landing the more power shots. But we know how the scoring thing can go, and I think it was a key thing, and you got to give Robert Garcia a lot of credit, one of the top trainers in the game today. I just simply like the way he talks to his fighter. He stays calm, and he just gives them clear direction. And I think he was really worried that the same thing that happened to Pacquiao might happen to Donaire, because he changes his philosophy there, so to speak, in that at the end of the 10th round, he's telling him, okay, don't go for the knockout. You got to start scoring some punches. This guy's throwing a lot of punches, and he may be winning some rounds. So he told him, hey, get in there and start throwing some combinations. And man, did he do that. And then he comes in the 11th round, like they say, the 11th and 12th rounds, the championship rounds, and Nonito Donaire proved what we already know. He is a champion. He went in there and took care of business. This was a tough fight for him, as he spoke in the interview post-fight, how the jab from Mathebula was keeping him at bay, making it hard for him to get in, but he did a number in that 11th round. And instead of the left hook, he comes across with the right, and really reworks that jaw and does tremendous damage there. And at the end, in the post-fight talk, they said he broke a tooth, and I haven't had that happen, but I know you break a tooth and you expose a nerve. That ain't a very fun thing, and that's a lot of pain, and you could tell it really slowed him down. Mathebula did not have the productivity in that later rounds, and Donaire, put it to him in a championship mode in the championship rounds. He deserves a victory. Great job. Also a great job by Mathebula. But I'm telling you, good fight and tough fight for him. Tough fight for Donaire. Like he said something about his legs not being there. But he fought through it like a champion does. And just a real nice job. Like I say, I would have preferred that left hook finishing off. But he came through with that right hand and just really took care of business. That's what boxing can be about. And when you're a champion, you even though it's tough, you find a way to win, and he found a way to win tonight. And I want to say one other thing on this judging. Don't you think that this debacle with Pacquiao had an effect on these judges tonight? I mean, a lot of people, after that Pacquiao decision against him, was thinking, I'm sure, well, this fight, we could actually see how a judge might score some of these rounds for Mathebula. But I think these judges, in the back of their mind, I mean, come on, they're human just like us. They don't want to be just torn apart in public like the judges. I mean, they were the judges that judged the Pacquiao fight. I mean, they were just slung through the mud, as they should have been, for that pathetic decision. But don't you know that fear of making a bad call that would be perceived wrong in the public's eye was weighing on their mind, because this score was pretty wide for Donaire, and I think deservedly so. But you can see how some of these rounds could have been scored differently. But I think the judges said, hey, we don't want what happened to the judges of the Pacquiao fight to happen to us. And I think that had to be in the back of their mind. I mean, like I say, human nature, I don't care who you are, you don't want to be booed and written about and talked about as being incompetent. So, but anyway, good fight. And I thought the Rosinski-Pavlik fight, also a pretty good fight. Rosinski, not a big name, but come in there really, did well for himself and really handled himself well in that fight. But I thought Pavlik did a nice job. A pressure fighter, and Rosinski, the early round was bouncing around, stuff like that. He kind of tired towards the later rounds and just kind of stayed in there and fought with Pavlik. But Pavlik, man, economical fighter, just standing there flat-footed, pressuring the action and landing some big, powerful shots. Got the one knockdown there also. So good night of fights. Hey, I was tempted to watch this UFC fight. I'm not going to lie to you. In fact, after the Donaire fight, I went in there, got on the internet, and kind of watched the little Twitter thing to see how it was going, and Silva won that thing. So, but I was tempted to pay for that fight, and I might just have to watch some of the UFC fights and do a little commentating on them as well. But it's good to be back. I'm going to try to get more consistent with videos, but it's good to be talking about the fight game again. Good night of fights, UFC, boxing, we'll take it, and hope to see more of it. And for now, this is all from Renegade Rousey. I'm out.